Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Kelly Ray, your Masterful Mindset Coach at strengthensensitivity.com, and I'm here to pose a question to you. My question is, how many of you feel very frustrated that you're just never getting ahead? How many feel like you're just busting your ass every day to barely make ends meet, to barely pay the bills, to barely have 5 minutes to yourself, and are just really tired of it and don't know what to do to change that? Raise your hand. I raise mine with you because I can completely relate to that. So let me give you a few strategies and tools that I've learned along the way to help kind of break that cycle and make some change in your life so you can immediately start seeing changes happen on a daily basis. So let me first start with a story. So a number of years ago, when my daughter was about 1 or 2 years old, I was in this crazy world at the time. Being a single mom of a little tiny baby, I was working for 2 magnificent lawyers. I was also working for a brilliant financial advisor and mortgage broker who had an amazing crew of people. And I was also a traveling notary public, going around with my baby, signing and notarizing trust documents. To say the least, I was like a chicken with my head cut off running around. And every day at the end of the day, when I would lay my head down in bed, I would say, oh, thank you, God. I made it another day. And yet I still felt like I was never going to get out of this vicious cycle, out of this, what I considered a nightmare of never-ending exhaustion. So one day my dad's neighbor gave me a CD of Esther Hicks. I don't know if any of you have heard of her. You can look her up on Google. Anyway, Esther was giving an example of how my day was. I know she wasn't addressing me personally, but that's what it felt like. So she gave this example. How many of you every day take your boat down to the water, face it upstream, get in your boat and paddle like mad, and at the end of the day you get out, you take your boat out, and you're like, whew, I worked really hard today. I should feel really good about this, and drag my boat home and try again tomorrow. So you can imagine I'm having this visualization in my head as I take my baby in her car seat, I strap her in my little boat, I turn my boat and I'm going upstream and I'm paddling like mad, doing all of these things every day. And I'd get done at the end of the day exhausted, drag my boat out. I made it. Thank you, God, I made it. Never realizing that I was getting out at the exact same spot where I put my boat in. I was getting nowhere. But I wasn't sinking, and that was good enough for me at the moment. Anyway, so in this video, Esther talks about how if you want to get to where you want to go, and you're sitting here swimming upstream, you got to get your boat to go in the other direction. Now, I know that sounds so simple, and it was so simple, but it was like these gates of heaven just opened, and I had this moment of, oh, that's amazing. And she said it doesn't have to be hard, and it doesn't have to be drastic, and it doesn't have to be work. All you have to do is stop rowing. Stop rowing, and your boat will turn and shift in the direction you want to go. Again, it sounds really simple because we can always justify in our minds, oh, I got bills to pay, I have this to do, I have that to do. Yes, you have all of that to do. But you don't have to keep reminding yourself of that every single day. Because what happens when we remind ourselves, we keep playing that classic story in our head that we've written so long ago as our truth, we just get more of it. So here's a technique and a tool that I've used countless times to help me get back on track. I would go for a walk in my neighborhood, and my goal was I wanted to notice as much as I could in present time. So I wanted to see the trees, I wanted to see the flowers, I wanted to see cats, I wanted to see whatever I could see. Seems simple, right? Well, as I would walk down the street, I'd be admiring, oh, look at the pretty flowers, oh, look at the really nice tree. And then next thing I knew, I was talking about, okay, I got to go to the grocery store, I got to pay my bills, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this. And then I'd be like, oh, look at that bird. But what I didn't realize is I had already walked past 5 houses. So I had lost present moment time. I was allowing myself to get stuck in the old classic journal I had written of just everything I had to do rather than just being in the moment, allowing myself that moment of time. So that's my challenge for you today, is I want you to see how present you really are in your own life and where you can make concessions to be present and be aware of what it is you're telling yourself. What's the classic story that you keep telling yourself for why you continually be frustrated and not get ahead? So I'd also like to invite you to join my Facebook group page where we talk about topics like this and so many others and get the support that can really be a benefit and some tools. And I would also ask you to please like, comment, and share this video if you feel like it's been helpful to you, and I really appreciate that. I appreciate you, and I thank you for being here, and I send you so much love.